Okay, we're here in beautiful Jordan, Petra, the city of the Nabateans, and Jordan has a very special place in the Bible. I want to show you a couple of scriptures. Micah chapter 2 verse 12 says, I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel, and I will put them together as the sheep of Bozrah. Bozrah means the sheepfold, and this is where the Jews will be gathered to meet the shepherd of the sheep. Welcome to Bozrah, the sheepfold, or Petra, the rock. God says that in the last days, the enemy of the Jews, the anti-Semite or the Antichrist, is going to try to slaughter them. There's going to be a Holocaust. But there will be a safe place for them, which is this area. The Bible says further in Daniel chapter 11, verse 41, He, the Antichrist, shall also enter into the glorious land, which is Israel. A great enemy, worse than Adolf Hitler, is going to come into Israel. And many countries shall be overthrown. So you're probably talking about Iraq, Iran, Egypt. These countries will get overthrown by a very powerful Muslim leader. But these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom and Moab and the chief of the children of Ammon. So if you look on the modern map today, Ammon or Amman is the capital of Jordan. Then you've got the territory of Moab, and then you've got Edom. These three regions are now comprising one modern state, Jordan. In order for these scriptures to be fulfilled, Jordan has to be a friend to the Jews. And how amazing is it that God recorded this? Daniel is 2,500 years ago. Micah is the same, 2,500 years ago. And only in 1994, Jordan signed a peace treaty with Israel, becoming the second Arab nation that has signed a peace treaty with the Jewish state. Now, somebody asked me that, would the people here in Jordan, because you see a lot of poor people, you see a lot of young men here, would any of these people be willing to join, and would they be easily deceived to join ISIS or Daesh? Now, if you know the culture here and you know the attitude here, the answer is absolutely not. In fact, not only would the king of Jordan not be pro-ISIS, and he's standing against ISIS, one of the great modern news events that happened recently is the burning of the Jordanian pilot. When he was burned alive by ISIS, it really changed the attitude of Jordanians. And so none of the parents here would allow their sons to go and join ISIS. No way. In fact, they like the fact that King Abdullah II sent his military, his air force, to bomb ISIS. So this state is not only pro-Israel, but is being positioned in the end times to be anti-ISIS and anti-Islamic Caliphate and what's happening right now as we see in Syria and Iraq. So Jordan is definitely one of these prophesied about nations, been in the Bible for thousands of years, but we haven't seen until our generation that it would fulfill all these prophecies. Now it's completely ready. So when you see the Antichrist standing in the holy place, the temple of God on the Temple Mount, declaring himself as God, you know he is a false prophet. He isn't who you were led to believe he was, or the media portrayed him to be. Make sure that you get out of Israel, because there's going to be a Holocaust worse than World War II, and millions will die. One of the safe places for you to get out to is Bozrah, the sheepfold, or Petra, the rock. And God has prepared a place for you, and make sure you call upon the Messiah, call upon Yeshua to come and save, and he says he will come. In 3 days of all the Jews here collectively calling upon him in Hosea chapter 5 and 6, when the Jews call upon him in 3 days, he will come. He's the one who's come and returned into his place until they acknowledge their offense. When they, the Jews, acknowledge their offense of rejecting the Messiah the first time he came, just like they rejected Moses the first time he came, just like they rejected Joseph the first time he shared his dream that he would, be so powerful, he'd save his brothers and the brothers would bow down to him. Remember, in your own Tanakh and Torah, it says again and again that the Jews reject the deliverer that God sends to you. Once you recognize that, the Messiah will come again a second time and save you. And Jordan is a friend. So Christians, you shouldn't be just praying for Israel, you should be praying for Israel and Jordan. You shouldn't just be touring in Israel, you should tour Israel and Jordan. These two countries really actually comprise the Promised Land. and Moses and Aaron actually came through Jordan first, and Moses and Aaron died in Jordan. So this is definitely a big part of biblical history.